Hello guys and girls, welcome back to my weekend update on the financial markets. I'm back from Lisbon and it was a great vacation. Since then we got a new president elected for the United States of America, so a lot happened also on the financial markets, and that I will cover with you today at the S&P 500, US oil, gold and Bitcoin, and we have a closer look on the technical side at the weekly, daily and 4-hour time frame, so that you got a clue what to do the weeks ahead till the end of the year in the financial markets and get an idea what I do and my finished trades, open trades and trades I will maybe take in the future. So let's start like always with S&P 500 and the weekly time frame. On a weekly we can see that we make higher highs, and especially after the small dip before the US election and after the US election where Donald Trump was voted as the next president, we have seen a big green weekly candle to the upside, which is pretty bullish, and new all-time highs are normally not a reason to sell, so I'm not doing that as well. I got only a slight concern for the weekly time frame here for the S&P 500 because I see here higher highs in price and lower highs on the MACD indicator, so divergence that normally ends in a correction. Here we had a similar situation, higher highs in price, lower highs in the MACD indicator, and afterwards what followed was the war Russia-Ukraine and a long-lasting decline. Keep that in mind. Maybe a little bit less risk with your trades, and yeah, keep up a good risk management. On a daily, we can see the trading days a little bit better where the election happened. Here we got a gap to the upside, which is also bullish with this ABC correction because of the uncertainty before the election, but price wasn't able to dip below the last low, and that was a thing I told you would be bad. If we see here a lower low, we had a higher low and then a higher high. That's the rhythm of an intact uptrend. So I stayed on course with my trade, and like you can see, my risk reward ratio 1 to 3 was going well, and I made, let's have a look on the paper trading account and account history. Yeah, I made nearly 6% or $6,000 on the account and closed the trade out at my fixed take profit area, slightly below the 6,000 point mark, and I'm pretty happy with that. We will see maybe in the next couple of days we got a little bit higher and then see a smaller correction. If we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, I was drawing in here a 4-hour support zone in combination with this daily wide uptrend line, and it could be likely that price will come back around to that level, and from there on we could wait for a 4-hour downtrend break and trade it again to the upside with stop loss below the daily uptrend line and the last low. That would be another trading opportunity, but I will probably take less risk than in this case. It was 2% I was risking, maybe then only 1 or 0.5. We will see. I keep you updated on that. That's it on the S&P 500 index. So far, so bullish. Let's switch to US oil. Oil on the weekly, we can see this monthly red solid downtrend line that got broken to the upside, and also the 200 moving average acted afterwards as support while we have this weekly correction after this massive breakout. And I think on the long term, I am expecting higher oil prices. On the short term, it could well be that we see lower prices because the 200 moving average got above price and now acts as resistance, and because of that I was participating in some short trades, and yeah, I think maybe the bottom is in, so I also participated in some long trades. So far I went all into my stop loss, or I closed them earlier before they run into my stop loss, have been running into my stop loss, but we will have a closer look on the lower time frames. The daily, here we can see the daily triangle. Price was moving inside and breaking then out to the lower side, and after such a breakout it's expected that price will continue into this direction. But afterwards we got a break of a daily downtrend line to the upside, getting back in the middle of this triangle and getting rejected here and went down lower into an ABC correction, stopping at the retest of this daily downtrend line, and from there on moved lower and have taken out point B of this ABC correction. That could well be a good opportunity for a long trade. And at the 4-hour you can see that I was thinking about that the last week, where we had this breakout of this ABC correction to the upside, made a retest, and then came all the way back up, got rejected again, went lower. So I thought maybe this was the high, this is the low of the correction, and the next time we got price above the last high, I will enter the trade into a long position. I did so with 0.5% risk that I'm taking, so not much. And then price immediately turned against me, and after I have seen this low here gotten taken out to the downside, I closed the trade manually because my trading setup ain't valid anymore. And my trading idea would be that I would have seen at least a little bit more of a breakout and a daily close above that level. And this here is just showing me that there is a lot more resistance than expected, and it doesn't make sense to hold that position longer than necessary. So I closed the trade. So at the moment, no open trade on crude oil. I lost $400, so 0.4% on account with this try, but it doesn't matter in the end. The winds will catch it up later. Yeah, what do you do? What do I do with oil the next week and the weeks ahead? Maybe if we see another break to the upside, I will try it again, catching the right move to the upside. Or maybe price will decline lower and even make lower lows. Then this formation wasn't finished yet. Then maybe it will get an A, B, C. And maybe we'll retest all the way back down to this weekly support and resistance zone here. We will see. I don't think that I will short US oil at the moment, or at least at the moment I'm having not a good setup for it. But I will inform you if anything changes on that front in my next weekend update, like always. That's it for US oil. Let's switch to gold. Gold, finally, like predicted. We probably could well have seen here the highest candle for the moment and the next couple of weeks. MACD was really, or still is really stretched to the upside, and it seems like the MACD wants to cross to the downside again for a correction like I did here. And yeah, this candle here looks pretty much like a topping candle to me, and there's, well, the potential for some more downside on price to correct into this massive bull run. At the daily time frame, we can see a daily intact white solid uptrend line, and here a slight MACD divergence to price. So price making higher highs, MACD making lower highs, and after that the correction happened here. Maybe we'll see a correction all the way back to this daily white uptrend line, and from there continue the overall trend further to the upside, or we see a break of it, a retest, and a break again. Could look something like that to me. And then maybe we'll find support again here, this daily support zone, or break all the way down to this solid orange weekly uptrend, and from there find some support, change from lower highs and lower lows to higher highs and higher lows, and then continue again the overall uptrend. That's still definitely intact. So my plan was to short gold because it was way too extended to the upside. Then I went into vacation, last time on laptop and smartphone, so I missed the opportunity to short it here, because it would have been ideal. You can draw in here a 4-hour support zone where price bounced a couple of times. I was expecting with the divergence and the extension that maybe here will come a break to the downside, and here was the break. I would have maybe placed here an entry and stop loss above this area or above the last all-time high if I would have been conservative, and then trading it to the downside with a good risk-reward ratio, maybe ending here around the daily uptrend line. I missed that opportunity. Maybe you have participated in it because I was talking about it in the last weekend report. Good for you if you catch this trade. If not, not that worse, because I think we'll get a chance to trade it again back to the upside if we have seen a complete reset of price, so that the uptrend stays healthy and can continue. Yeah, like I said, retest all the way down to the white solid uptrend line would be more than okay. And if we see a huger correction all the way back down to this daily support zone in combination with the weekly uptrend, would also be fine. Load up even more on long-term positions, and we got a nice trading setup for sure. So stay cautious. I will update you on my next videos. And if you got any idea on gold or other opinions than mine, drop that in the comment section and we can discuss about it. That would be really great. Let's switch to Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Bitcoin has done what it has to do. I think the US election was the trigger for that, but it would have happened anyways, but maybe a little bit later. Because we are in the last year of the 4-year Bitcoin cycle, and that's normally the strongest one. We had this MACD crossing to the upside, and I was already calling it in my last weekend report, and I'm pretty happy about that call because now I'm profiting from that. If we drop down to the daily time frame, we see this price channel. Bitcoin was moving a long time inside. Then we have a break, a retest of the upper side of the channel, and then the final blow off after the US election. And now this channel here is history for price. At least I hope so. Because of that, I moved my stop loss below the retest of the upper side of the channel. I think if we see prices below that point, we will probably see a huger dip inside this range again, I think, and the bullish hopes for Bitcoin are damaged for a couple of months. If that happens, I think it's not likely. Because of that, there's my stop loss level. I was already invested before the election, but with 1% at risk of my account balance with the trade, and after the election, and we have seen that Trump was voted, and he's pretty crypto friendly, so the price reacted to that, and then I added additionally $2,000 or 2% at risk to the trade. So I now have $3,000 US or 3% of my account balance at risk with this trade. My entry level because of that moved also a little bit up, and now I'm at the level where we have seen the break to new all-time highs. The open profit at the moment is 2.5% of my account balance, and I also got plans if we see higher prices. Let's zoom a little bit out for that. I used the Fibonacci retracement tool. Here was the start of the movement, here the high, all the way back to the start of the movement, and you got this nice Fibonacci retracement levels here that you can use for take profit targets if you are in all-time high territory. And the first one, I would like to take a little bit off the table, maybe 1/3 or even half of my position, and the rest I will let run till we reach nearly $95,000 US, and then I take the whole position from the table, and that would be a pretty good, goddamn good trade with a lot of profit and good for the account balance. Maybe we'll see the $100,000 US, but I don't want to risk it because it's a psychological level, and maybe people sell right before that. And I'm also long-term invested, so I would profit from it anyway. Yeah, that's my plan for Bitcoin. I'm absolutely bullish because normally I don't risk 3%. Most of the times 2% is my maximum amount I'm risking, but I'm able to go up to 3% if I got a AAA scenario, and my view that's one you should take advantage of. Yeah, that's it for the weekend update. Stay tuned and you can hear me next week again. Bye bye.